Oh, of course it's going to be... Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be my little haul. I'm hoping that this is like one of the very few I'll be doing this year. If any more, I'm sure I will. Just because I do have plenty of books already and I'm really trying not to. But these are books that I've either thrifted or was gifted to me. There is like 3 that I bought for myself as a treat. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So let me start by the 4 books that I thrifted. So first of all, we have Brother, Do You Love Me by Manny Coe and Ruben Coe. Ruben, age 38, was living in a home for adults with learning disabilities and struggling to accept that he had Down syndrome. Lonely and in a fog of antidepressants, he hadn't spoken for over a year. Increasingly isolated, cut off from everyone and everything he loved, Ruben sent a text message, "Brother, do you love me?" When Manny received this desperate message from his youngest brother, he knew everything had to change. Together they began an extraordinary journey of repair, discovering the depths of their brotherhood, one gradual step at a time. Combining Manny's tender words with Ruben's compelling illustrations, their story of hope and resilience questions of how we care for those closest to us and draws a moving portrait of brotherly love. Anything to do with siblings I am all for, so I know this is going to be heartbreaking, but also just what a wonderful thing to read about, right? And then these books were 3 for £1. 3 for £1. We have The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. On a perfect August morning, Elle Bishop heads out for a swim in the pond below the Paper Palace, her family's holiday home in Cape Cod. As she dives beneath the water, she relives the passionate encounter she had the night before against the side of the house that knows all her darkest secrets, while her husband and mother chatted to their guests inside. So begins a story that unfolds over 24 hours and 50 years as Elle's shocking betrayal leads her to a decision that will change her life forever. It's giving contemporary fiction and rich people problems, which is like a genre that I enjoy, and I've just heard really good things about this one, so I'm also very much looking forward to reading this. Okay, next up we have The Drift by CJ Tudor. This is a thriller. An overturned coach full of students, all of them are trapped, a stranded cable car full of strangers, one of them is dead, an isolated chalet full of friends, soon they'll be enemies. Outside, a snowstorm rages, inside each group a killer lurks, but that's not their only problem. Why is no rescue coming? What are they trying to escape from, and who are the terrifying whistlers? This sounds so exciting because we're like following 3 different groups, and I love like thrillers that are based in like a short period, if that makes sense, and they're all stuck. So I'm very excited about this one. This will definitely jump quite highly on my TBR, I think. Next we have Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm really sorry if I haven't pronounced that correctly. Camino lives for her father's visits to the Dominican Republic, but this year, on the day when his plane is supposed to land, Camino arrives at the airport to see crowds of crying people. In New York City, Yahaira is called to the principal's office where her mother is waiting to tell her that her father, her hero, has died in a plane crash. Separated by distance and Pappy's secrets, the 2 sisters are forced to face a new reality in which their lives are forever altered. Now, Camino and Yahaira are both left to grapple with their grief, their newfound love for one another, and what it will take to keep their dreams alive. Okay, next up are the 3 books that I bought myself. So first we have Fyodor Dostoevsky's White Knight. This I've heard is like basically friend zoning, but in like the Cold War era or something. 2 devastating Russian stories of solitude, unrequited love, and depravity from beyond the grave. Next, we have First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. So I have read Love Light Farms, which is the first in that series, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know why I haven't actually carried on, but what really sold me was not only is this cover like everything. Hello? Can we just... like, look at that. Aidan Valentine has a secret. He's fallen out of love with love, which, as the host of Baltimore's romance hotline Heartstrings, is a bit of a problem. When a young girl calls into the station asking for dating advice for her mother Lucy, the interview goes viral, thrusting Aidan and Heartstrings into the limelight. Lucy Stone thought she was doing just fine, but with all of Baltimore scrutinizing her love life, or lack thereof, she begins to question whether she's as happy as she thought. Maybe a little more romance wouldn't be such a bad thing. Everyone wants Lucy to find a happy ending, even the handsome, temperamental man calling the shots. But as sparks start to fly behind the scenes, Lucy must make the final call between a radio-sponsored happily ever after or the man in the headphones next to her. And then this one I am so excited about because I just read the first book in the series, but it is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. And again, like, how cute is that? Like, how cute are these sprayed edges that the works are giving? If you have read Out on a Limb, then you know that this book follows the best friends of the female main character and the male main character. High school sweethearts Sarah and Caleb Linwoods have always been a sure thing. For the past 17 years, they've had each other's backs through all of life's ups and downs. But Sarah has begun to wonder, who is she without her other half? When she decides to take on a fundraiser in memory of her late mother, Sarah wants nothing more than to prove that she doesn't need Caleb's help to succeed. But the event fails and Caleb uninvitedly steps in to save the day. The rift that follows Hollis unearths a decade of grievances and doubts. Are they truly the same people they were when they got married at 19? Are they supposed to be? Desperate to save what they know they once had, Sarah and Caleb join a grueling week-long hiking trip intended to guide couples through rough patches. Can two nature-averse people fight their way out of the woods in order to find their way back to their roots? And I feel like that's really relatable because I have been with my husband for like 10 years nearly now, and we got together when we were like 21, well, when I was like 21, and I'm now 31, so I get that whole idea of like, who are you outside of your relationship, if that makes sense. So I feel like this is going to be a really relatable read to me, honestly. Next, I was very lucky that my husband bought me a whole bunch of books for Valentine's Day, and so I'm really excited to go through them. I'm going to do these two because they're not the first books in their series, so I'm not really going to talk about them or read the blurb just because I think it's going to spoil it for me. Oh, of course there's going to be... Oh, let me shut the window. If you guys hear a car alarm, you don't. So we have Sarah J. Maas' House of Sky and Breath, which I believe is the second book in the Crescent City duology, because it's this and Blood and Ash, I think. Oh no, it's a trilogy. House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath, House of Flame and Shadow, so this is book 2. So I'm not going to read the blurb just because, like I said, I don't want to spoil it for me. And then next we have A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas as well. And I believe this is book 3, so I'm currently reading A Court of Mist and Fury back there. So again, I'm not going to read the back just because it's going to spoil it for me, I'm pretty sure. Next we have The Rats by James Herbert. I can't remember who it was, so I'm really sorry, but somebody on my bookstagram was recommending this to me, saying that if I really enjoyed Tender as the Flesh, this is another one of those like kind of creepy, like icky horrors, which for some reason I absolutely love, and it's a short read. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy this because weirdly enough, I really liked Tender as the Flesh. The first victim was a former paper salesman drinking himself into oblivion down by the docks. Next, a child and her beloved dog. Oh my god, no. Then 6 drifters fighting over a bottle of gin, all devoured by a black, writhing mass of giant rats. As London descends into panicked chaos, schoolteacher Harris is pulled headfirst into the nightmare when a student reveals a rat bite on his hand, but he quickly realises that this is no ordinary rat. It's like nothing anyone has ever seen before. Oh, it's a book about my husband. With their intelligent, wicked-looking eyes and razor-sharp teeth, the creatures have suddenly, shockingly, horribly shifted the balance of power between man and rat. They've had their first taste of human blood, and now they're hungry for more. Ew, 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 ew. Next we have A Full Stop by Elsie Silver. This is the final book in the Gold Rush Ranch series, which I believe predates the Chestnut Spring series, which if you know me, you know that that is my all-time favourite romance series. I kissed her and the world stood still, but Nadia Dalka isn't just some girl. She's my best friend's little sister and completely off limits. I always find that every cowboy romance series I feel like that I've read has like a brother's best friend or like best friend's little sister, whichever way you look at it, that trope, because Done and Dusted is that. There's me being like every single one. Oh my god, there is another one. I've literally just finished it. Oh, Holding the Reins. Girl, I don't know. My plan is to stay away, but the universe keeps pushing us together. It's like some sort of cosmic joke to give me a taste of something so electric, so real that I can't touch. I've always considered myself a strong man, but when she looks at me with those sultry eyes, so full of longing and free of judgment, I'm weak. Her sinful curves, her light-hearted laughter, her wild side, I'm addicted to every last bit of her. To give in to our connection would be a betrayal. Her brother is the only family she has left, and sad as it sounds, he's also my only friend. But I kissed her again anyway, and now I can't stop. Okay, so it's already telling us that they, like, got together. I don't know if it's going to start from before that, or it's just going to kind of go from there. Who knows? But yeah, that's the final book in the Gold Rush Ranch series. And then last but not least, we have Carissa Broadbent's The Ashes in a Star-Cursed King and the Serpent in the Wings of Night, which is the Crowns of Nyaxia. Is this a duology? I think it is a duology. Yes, it is. It's the Nightborn duet. Which one's the first one? Because I don't want to read the second one because it will spoil it for me. It's this one, The Serpent in the Wings of Night. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king Araya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is to enter the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Araya will be forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Araya most of all is that she finds herself strangely drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari, and nothing more deadly than love. I think it's like forbidden enemies to lovers, but I'm in my like romantasy era right now, which I've never really been in. Loving it. I'm late to the party, but here I am. Anyway, those are all the books that I have accumulated recently. Like I said, I don't think I'll be doing many hauls this year just because I do have so many good books that I want to read on my shelf, and I just don't want to just keep buying them because I do get overwhelmed and I feel like I'm not giving the books that I once was so desperate to have the attention that they deserve. Maybe that's like just the empath in me is very, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!